Hi everyone, it's Nigel Giam here, the lead GP training program director for the St Mary's scheme, and we are continuing with our ST3 success interviews. And I honestly am so happy to have Maggie here with us. We have been working on attaining SCA success for a it seems like a long time, and yet we've never met face to face. It's been this very strange virtual era, but I have to say, I hold Maggie very close to my heart. And when she texted me with the positive result, I was absolutely ecstatic. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this quick interview with me today, Maggie. How are you? How are you feeling?
I feel like overwhelmed,
Yeah.
very happy. I met you, yes, like we met like long time ago, just
Yeah.
virtual. I think it started last year.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it was during the RCA era. So actually, to be honest, it was kind of as we were coming out of pandemic, and this transition between RCA and SCA. And I think the RCA really took it out of you quite badly, didn't it, actually? I think the last time you sat it was back in September of last year. I might just share actually the results as we talk through this a little bit just with our audience. But we kind of met around this time
Yes,
back in 2023 when you came to see me for the RCA, and we were thinking RCA, SCA, and we didn't want to rush the SCA at all. But as we can see, I mean, you absolutely smashed this out of the park, 94.5. Breaking down your data gathering, which was strong, your clinical management was outstanding, and a really, really solid mark in the relating to others. Our audience will want to know, how did you do it? How did you do it?
it was like a quite like really tough time, especially after the RCA last time.
Yeah,
It knocked my confidence totally. I felt like I'm not good as a GP, despite the fact it was like a difficult time at this point, and you're aware it's just lots of personal
yeah,
situations,
yes, yeah,
and the preparation time was really tight. But to fail the exam is really bad.
yeah. I know. And when you came to see me, it was not just a battle against the exam. I almost felt like we had to find a way to inject that confidence and energy into you. And there were blood, sweat, and tears. We have to admit that. We have to be honest, But you saw through with my tough love, and we kept going, and we kept going, and we've attained the success. So let's just break it down a little bit for the audience here. Data gathering. Give us some game changers. What would you be advising our audience who are going to be sitting or resitting? What are the main things here?
The main thing here, I will say, what you teach me, what you told me always: follow the patient narrative. Take your eyes and take the eyes to focus in your data gathering. We're not asking anymore.
Yeah.
We're not asking for every single like symptoms.
Yes.
Have to take a focused history. And
Yeah.
the only way to do that is to follow the patient narrative and to follow the eyes from the patient.
Fantastic, because we've got to just break out of asking these formulaic questions that really don't count, and just crowbarring in things like smoking or alcohol when we've got nothing else to ask. You've got to follow the patient narrative. So the story before the symptom, absolutely. And it becomes easier, isn't it, I suppose, in a way, because you don't have to think of the next question because it kind of just reveals itself in where you're going. What about the clinical management? What would you be saying in terms of a game changer there?
Okay, so for the clinical management, it's good to have the knowledge. Very good, and it will help literally very well in the SCA. But what will suit the patient?
Yes,
That's the main thing. Maybe some patient, the clinical management will say take some tablets, but that
yeah,
will not suit the patient.
exactly.
So explain what the benefit for each one and leave the choice for the patient. That will
Yeah.
be the most important thing. I
Yeah.
can for some patient do some physiotherapy or do, if they didn't understand why I'm saying that from the beginning, they will not do it.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. So it has to be an informed choice, isn't it? I mean, we talked a lot about this, that sometimes in the rush of the moment, you might say, okay, well, I suppose with depression, you've got medications, you've got, talking therapy, what's your preference? But that's not an informed choice. It has to be really focused on the patient's agenda. Maybe they don't want to take antidepressants actually because they're fearful of, the potential side effects. So yeah, very, very important. Any other game changers with the management?
Yes, yes. Another one is I was gonna say about the informed choice again. It is just saying about the like explaining the like, let's say with osteoarthritis, that the strengthen the muscle around the joint that will help the relieving the pressure, so that will help.
Yeah.
Secondly, I want to add that with the management, uh, first of all, you have to address the eyes of
Yeah,
the patient.
absolutely. Yeah.
It's the most important thing to
Yeah.
start with,
Yeah.
and change the whole situation in terms of
Yeah.
management.
Exactly, because sometimes there will be some options which are just not in context if actually the patient's already expressed that they're definitely not going down that route because maybe they've had a previous bad experience. And it's so important not to force our own agenda on patients. I suppose one theme that's come up from some of these interviews is what if you're faced with, for example, a situation where you really don't know what to do? Do you have any tips? So I'm not clear what the diagnosis is. I'm really not sure what's kind of going on. I think that phases a lot of people when they're faced with that uncertainty.
Yeah, that will be also a lot in the SCA exam. Verbalize what your thoughts, and
Yeah.
you're not sure what's going on, but say it out loud to the patient
Mhm.
and say that the situation here is like, in this situation, we think about, let's say, this, it might be from the heart, from your
Yeah.
chest. We're
Yeah.
not sure at this moment.
Yeah.
So what is your thoughts to start with?
Yeah. Okay. Good. So it's actually just sharing that uncertainty, which I think we're very pensive about because we always feel we have to give a label to something in order to manage it, and that's not what this exam is really testing you on. It's management of risk and uncertainty with confidence.
One tip also, like, there's lots of negotiation in the exam.
Yeah.
When you find yourself against the patient, that means there's something wrong.
Yeah. That's right. So aligning, and I suppose that brings us very nicely on to relating to others. Now, you've already alluded to how you open up ICE, how you use it, and you readdress it. And obviously, the relating to others mark starts from as soon as you start interacting with the patient. But maybe we'll talk about this theme of negotiation when you're up against the patient, because there's a difference between just doing what the patient wants you to do and actually finding, I suppose, a patient-centered decision and a middle ground. What were your strategies around that with negotiation?
Understand the patient perspective
Yeah.
and let the patient verbalize what you're thinking of. And usually the patient come with certain agenda. Let's say you want that test. Why he want this test? I had like a patient want specific treatment.
Yeah. Yeah.
What they knew about this treatment.
Yeah.
And when you explain the treatment, they found they're missing some stuff and they don't want it, and they want to work with you. So it's important to work in partnership with the patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you reach that level, the patient like will be ready to like accept what you say, and they will work with you.
Good.
And that's one thing I learned from you, literally, Nigel. I had a couple of cases and I learned something when I find myself in totally an opposite
Yeah.
like situation with the patient. He wants something and I want, and when there is no like common ground,
Yeah.
or nothing to be like no shared common ground to
Yeah.
work with,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
there's something wrong. So
Yeah. And when there's something wrong, we've got a dilemma. That word, I'm sure, will register with you. We talked about working through dilemmas with patients because sometimes it isn't just as easy as saying here are options. Because again, the patient may drive the consultation at that point and actually choose an option which isn't appropriate. So you've got to find that mutual ground somehow and work through that dilemma. Look, I am so happy for you, Magda. Words can't actually even express how happy I am because I think for me, just from a personal perspective, it's been more than just getting you through the SCA. It's really just about helping you believe in yourself again and what you were capable of. And that mark is testament to your fortitude and resilience and positive energy. Now, I suppose just as we close this, do you have any words of wisdom and hope that you can give people who will be watching this going, you know what, I feel like you, I can't do this anymore. It's too much. I've got too many challenges on my plate. I just can't do it. I mean, you've done it and you've done it so well. What can you tell our audience?
I wasn't that sure before. I was like ready to give up everything, especially if you're like used to achieve well and all of a sudden you feel you struggle with something, it's easily to give up. But it's important, like, I don't know what happened, but literally believing in yourself in the time of exam before, since other people done it, you have the ability to do it. You pass through many exams and many tough situations, so it's easily to be done, but just need to believe in yourself. And I remember every time, like when I do really bad in like one of the sessions, what happened? I wasn't like that much, and I was ready to, like, to give up everything.
That's right.
But just believe in yourself and your knowledge, and just justify the way of your consultation, and it's easily to be done, easily to be achieved.
And you absolutely achieved it. And I never, ever gave up belief in you. I knew you were going to smash this. And I'm just so happy. Just so happy. So Maggie, the world is your oyster. What's happening now? Tell us. What are you going to be doing post CCT?
My CCT is supposed to be in November.
Oh. So we rushed the exam then. I thought you were CCTing literally next month.
I'm extension trainee. This is a second time for extension. I'm not sure if they're gonna leave me or what will happen. I'm not quite sure, but I think I have to, like, get myself ready to start applying for a job. I almost finished my dermatology diploma with
Oh,
Cardiff.
wow, fantastic.
That's something I was working in, like, on for 2 years right now. So
Oh, now you've got time to do that. You've just got time, haven't you? You can really enjoy the rest of training. So that's good.
yes. So I will finish my dermatology diploma by July. So afterward, like, I will start. I will
Good,
see.
good. Well, I expect some teaching on skin from you because I'm not very good at it. So I've just really enjoyed it, and actually I really did miss our sessions, I have to say, when it all came to an end. But yeah, an end it has to come to, but it will not be the end, of course, because the world of GP is very, very small. Maggie, so much love to you and your family, and thank you so much for coming on today. I really, really wish you the very best moving forwards.
Thank you, Nigel, for everything. Like, without you, I will not be able to do it. Literally,
Thank you. That's
you
you.
put my confidence. You posted, like, as I said, I was like gonna give up, but you pushed me, and with the tough love, I really achieved that.
Yeah.
I will not be able to do it without you and without your help. Thank you.
The pleasure has been mine. Thank you so much. Okay, you take care. We'll touch base soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.